All right, everyone, it's literally time. We're headed to the gate, and it's time to embark in this adventure that you all coming with me. Let's go. In this first season, we are flying out of the heart of Disney World in Florida, where I call home, to the island of Maui in Hawaii, where I'll be taking you around with me on my first solo adventure around the island. Traveling solo as a female in a bougie camper van, where I'll be trying that famous van lifestyle, living in a van for a week, and sharing all my struggles and successes as a first-time van traveler. Hi, my name is Selena, but you can call me Sally, and if you're just dropping in this channel for this movie recapping this first season, come with me as I'll take you on a spin of the best moments of this first female solo travel camping in a camper van in Maui, Hawaii. What a life experience. So come get lost with me in Maui, Hawaii, literally. A little nerve-wracking. Let's go, thank God. So this place down here is another maze. Like every path leads to another 3 options of paths, and then you choose one, and then it leads to another 5. Let's see, hopefully I'll make outside of the EL Park. So if we thought it was hard to come up, try going down in the rain and mud. Holy shit moment. Because I'm on a little hill, kind of going down, and in front of me, is the abyss of the end of the edge of the volcano. We're inside a cloud. It has been raining and very windy and very scary to be up in here at this dark with the vent shaking, the wind noises. All right, you guys, I think it's time to give up. This season is definitely a mix of crazy adventures, beautiful and inspiring moments, discoveries, and places that if you haven't watched this, you wouldn't know they existed. So join me as I share with you all my challenges, discoveries, tips, and corners that you can find in Maui, and hopefully I'll inspire you to live your best life. It's time to say goodbye to the camper van, and I'm super sad. And of course there's a beautiful rainbow. This was absolutely amazing, unforgettable. I recommend this kind of trip for everyone. Let's adventure, everyone! This is Maui Season, the movie. Maui offers more than stunning beaches and fire knife dance. It's home to Haleakala, the largest dormant volcano, and features unique black sand beaches, lush rainforests, and spectacular waterfalls. Aloha! Welcome to Maui, everyone! Let's go get this van. Are you just as excited and anxious as I am? Because I am. So I'm waiting for the Uber right now. Let's go check it out, what this van looks like. So step number 1 has been accomplished. We have unlocked the van. And I haven't seen it yet, so I'm gonna bring you all together with me, but there's already a hey welcoming us right there. Let's get in this van. Welcome home, everyone. Oh, let's try it again. All right, so do it again. Welcome home, everyone. maybe not. Third time is a charm. All right, everyone, ready? Welcome home. Woo! This is so cute. We're gonna do a tour later, but this is awesome. Aloha! You know who made it. Thing is to come from the groceries and just pull everything from the cart in and start organizing in the house. This is super cool. Alright, let's see how much this fridge can hold. All right, everyone, so we have just parked in our first camp and I can't wait to show you this one. Come with me. So this is the beautiful view for day one. Let's take a tour in the house. Come on in, everyone, welcome. So this is gonna go really quick. This is the kitchen and the sink works super well with water. I have water here, conduction oven right here, stove. I have a French press. I can't wait to make some coffee here tomorrow morning. I already stocked on some of my stuff. Here I have some dishes and silverware, cups. And then how the sink works is underneath the sink. There's this container that collects the water. And then once in a while, I'm gonna have to empty it out. Now here I have a fridge that we loaded with some goodies from the groceries. And toilet. I have a shower inside of here. My rain jacket is in there right now. But yeah, I have a full shower. And then the bedroom. Bedroom with a view. Let's peek. And now it's time to unpack everything. Maybe play some ukulele. Enjoy this view. Oh, let me take you outside because those doors open up to the next beach. Or wherever it is that I'm gonna decide to go. But back in here, I also have another shower that I can rinse from the beach. You know, get the sand off your feet before you come in. But this is where the glamorous shots are gonna be from waking up in the beach. And there's also upstairs. I'm gonna go check it out. Let's climb. Now, climbing with this camera is not gonna be pretty, so bear with me. Made it. And here is the upstairs deck and view of the day. Not bad, not bad. All right, let's explore this together. Can't wait. Mwah. The mornings in the van started early on this trip, but to be honest, that's already my routine when I travel to Hawaii. Since I live on the East Coast, 4 to 5 a.m. to me is like 10 to 11. And if you come from the West Coast, that time will feel like 7, 8 a.m. And I live for catching sunrises and sunsets when I'm in Hawaii. So my routine was to wake up around 4 or 5 a.m., drive to my pre-planned sunrise spot, and enjoy that French pressed coffee. That's something that this trip has changed me. Now I make French press coffee with the macadamia Hawaiian coffee I brought home every day at home in Florida. And I guess that's a way to keep that aloha spirit and memories in my routine life. As we head to the Waihee Ridge Trail, let's dive into some fun facts about this incredible hike. The Waihee Ridge Trail is located in the lush West Maui Mountains, also known as Mauna Kahalawai. This mountain range is one of the oldest volcanic structures on Maui, which its origins dating back over 2 million years. Can you believe that? The trail itself is challenging, but trust me, the views are totally worth it. All right, everyone, it is time for the first hike of this trip, so let's get packing. With a great opportunity to do a picnic, we're gonna do like a charcuterie board, but in a plastic bag. So I got some prosciutto, cheese, grapes, of course, some water and sunblock, and I figured we were ready for this hike. Unfortunately, one thing to be aware in this area is that there are a lot of cars break-ins. So do your best to not leave any belongings showing in the front window and just be aware of your surroundings. For me, this hike felt more like playing a video game, where you have to pass several phases. Well, this is phase 1, where you have to get through the cows. At the very entrance of the trail, you'll find these warning signs. This trail is not for the faint of heart. As the name says, it rides the ridge of the mountain and the floor can break underneath you. But stick with me as I'll give you a couple of options for you to turn around and still have the best view and experience in this hike. And make sure to go back to episode 2 if you want to collect all these details. The views are already rewarding at this point since you start the hike at 1,000 feet of altitude. All right, everyone, we're about to cross to the second phase of this hike. Going through the second fence, this is the start of the switchbacks through the coot pine, eucalyptus, strawberry, guava forest. And this, everyone, is the easiest and most enjoyable part of this hike. The lush valleys and abundant rainfall made it an ideal location for agriculture. Today, you can still see remnants of ancient Hawaiian terraces along the trail, a reminder of the island's rich cultural history. And you can enjoy this beautiful view from the easiest part of the hike still. And keep on going some more. This point view right here is one of the most beautiful views in this hike, and definitely doable in the part that it's still easy, kinda, sorta part of the hike. If you go a little further, you get to the official first viewpoint and breathtaking views of the valley. I recommend you turn around here if you're not an experienced hiker or if you didn't bring any hiking sticks like me. This is before mile 1, by the way. Now let's figure out how I'm gonna make it to the top of this since there's still miles to go with no hiking sticks. What was I thinking? I read about bringing hiking sticks, bought them, but couldn't fit them in my luggage, so I decided I've done these hikes in Hawaii before. Maybe those tips were just for beginners. Well, it turns out I definitely needed those hiking sticks today. The trail is definitely challenging when it starts getting narrower, and the walking terrain after this point is definitely not flat. This part right here is what I call the Moana phase. I just felt like her climbing to the top of the mountain in Maui and looking at this beautiful view. Now the next phase is climbing some steps to a little upgrade of the view we had before. Literally above the clouds and helicopters. How amazing. Now, let's play a game. I've been talking about all the phases of this hike. How many phases you think this is gonna be? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll let you all know the answer. All right, we're almost at the top of this hike. And we're gonna have to hike that tiny area to get to the peak. And the view up in here is absolutely stunning. All right, let's go to the end. Check the links I left in the descriptions of episode 2 with all the items you should buy for this hike, especially those hiking sticks I forgot to bring with me. So we climbed so high, they were literally in the clouds. And there's still more to go. You can even see because it's more up in the clouds. Let's go! Point, even though I couldn't see nothing down there, I couldn't believe what I was about to see in front of me. We've made it to the picnic table, everyone! To be honest, I didn't think that I would, but I did. The famous picnic table, picnic in the clouds. Guys, we're in the clouds. Cheers. So if we thought it was hard to come up, try going down in the rain and mud. I gotta say that coming down was a lot harder than going up because you could slide down the mountain literally on the way down, so I had to slow down. I still fell about 3 times on my butt, and it was quite scary because you're right at the edge of the mountain. So yeah, those walking sticks were really needed. I ended up finding this one, submerged in mud, but you know, sometimes you gotta make some life choices. And I finally made all the way down. I was never so happy to see cows. Excuse me. Excuse me, I need to go right there to check the doors of the van. Chickens are all over the island of Maui, and be aware, they can go wild. I speak from experience. On the way to our new camping spot, I made a stop at McGregor Point, which is located at the west side of Maui, on its southern point, right below the south entrance for the Hoapili Trail, a trail where you hike alongside the wind turbines, a beautiful hike and sunset experience. McGregor Point is one of Maui's hidden gems, offering stunning views of the ocean and a perfect spot for whale watching during the season. And I have to mention one of the most stunning views of the Haleakala volcano. For the next days, we moved camping sites from the north to the southwest part of Maui. In this side of the island, I chose to stay at Camp Olowalu after several recommendations. So the number one advantage of traveling in a camper van is that you can always relocate and stay closer to the area you want to explore, especially when traveling in an island, so you don't waste time and gas crossing back and forth to your hotel every day. The camping site was right on the beach, and some of the experiences I lived here were quite memorable. Good morning, everyone. It is 4:30 in the morning, and that's the routine here. Wake up at this hour to drive to a beach to catch a nice sunrise. Let's go. Number 2 of my favorite things about van traveling is waking up to a new view every day. This morning, I parked on a beach park that was right next to the camping site. Traveling solo, I don't like to be driving and looking at the phone and trying to figure out where my next spot to go will be. So I did all this research in advance and researched the greatest spots that I could pull in with the van, so I could easily just wake up 5 o'clock in the morning and know exactly where I was driving to. Even though I like to pre-plan all my spots to go, I'm flexible to change the plans. And that is one of the best parts of traveling solo. In the flight to Maui, I found on the plane magazine there was gonna be a lay day event in the island, and how lucky was I to be there for it. Leis are such an important part of the Hawaiian culture, symbolizing love, respect, and the spirit of aloha. In the beginning, I was a little lost with so many beautiful options, but you just gotta get started, and you find yourself in the process. And I think this inspired me a little bit on how life should be. And as you can see, no Hawaiian celebration would be complete without hula dancing. Hula is much more than just a dance. It's a way to tell stories through graceful movements, chants, and music. The number 3 best part of van traveling is being able to stop whenever something catches your eye. I stopped at this beach that instantly made me time travel to this one time I was in Florianopolis in Brazil with my cousin Rafaela. She shared with me this folklore story about all these rocks you could see in the water and on the sand. And now coming here to Hawaii, I get transported back then and look at the same view all the way in an island, all across from Brazil, that reminds me of the same story. It's definitely worth to go back to episode 3 and listen to it. Hawaii is a place that always keeps bringing me back. My number 4 favorite thing about traveling in a van is the opportunity to connect with your own self. For me, this was the perfect chance to work on a secret project I've been excited about. I'm writing a motivational speech that I'll be presenting before the end of the year. And originally, I chose to travel solo in a camper van here in Hawaii because this place is full of good energy and inspiration. It felt like the perfect environment to dive within and begin this journey. I'll share more about it with you later, but when you are connected with the energy, it's crazy how you attract people. And look what happened to me when I was writing my speech. All right, so every day in the van, I've been meeting different people that just come here and talk to me. And today I met...
My name is Jack.
Hi, Jack.
Hi.
How are you? Aloha.
Aloha.
So where are you from, Jack?
I'm born and raised on Maui.
How long have you been living
I
here?
lived in Maui for 59 years, born and raised.
Tell me what this island means to you.
Maui is my home. Maui is Noko'oi. It's number 1 in the world. People from all over the world will tell you Maui. Nowhere else. All nationalities come to Maui. They tell you the best climate, best place to live. And we have a lot of difficulties because of the fire, as far as housing. But you gotta do what you gotta do in life. You gotta live, and don't let anybody put you down. And all you do is pick your head back up and you go forward in life. Your life might change for a little bit, but I can tell you what, if you believe in whatever you believe, you'll never hit that bottom. You always will climb back on that ladder and goes back up.
Oh
You will make yourself go down. If you make what you want and you can go back up, you don't have to be rich to be happy.
Amen.
It's in here. It's in your heart. I can be the poorest person, but I'm happy. I'm happy. Might not be the happiest, but I'm happy because you know what? I appreciate what I got.
Yeah.
Keep going forward in life.
Yeah.
And you find yourself. Believe me. Struggle. Life is a struggle. Nobody said things gonna be perfect. There's rich, there's poor. And there's a lot of poor people who's more happier than rich people. Let me tell you. It's inside of you. I learned this, took me many years where I come from. But I meet a lot of people from all over the world. And if you cut your skin, we all bleed red. You bleed green, you're a fucking alien. Let me tell you. I love you guys, Maui.
Thank you so
And I like
much.
Celi, I'm meeting you.
Thank you, nice to
And
meet
we talk
you.
again.
We'll
All
see you
right.
again.
I gotta go.
Aloha. And with that, I gotta say that my number 5 of the favorite things of traveling in a van was the random people that was curious about the van lifestyle that came to talk to me, and how many people I met because of that. Another favorite part of traveling in a camper van for me was being able to cook wherever you are. And as you've seen in many times in these episodes, I've been doing my papaya bowls. So make sure you jump back to episode 3 to learn how to make your own. And number 7 goes to showering outside. What an experience! I will tell you though, showering in the van, it's not the best of the experiences, but it is one of my favorite parts of traveling in a van, because wherever you are adventuring, when you come back, you have a shower ready to go, especially for some of those muddy hikes I went to. And finding campsites like this right by the water just make this experience a lot better. I'll tell you, some nights I was sleeping in not so many pretty places, but come on, you're sleeping. Next morning, I would just drive before sunrise to the most gorgeous location, catch the sunrise, and I was always making sure I was catching a beautiful sunrise and sunset. But look at this place. We finally made it to the first night of stargazing, and it's the perfect way to wrap up the day. And with that, this is my 10th and final reason why traveling in a camper van is so special. You can just step outside, away from the city lights, and lose yourself in the beauty of the night sky. Next day, we start our adventures by leaving our campsite to go explore the Maui Ocean Center. Welcome to the Maui Ocean Center, one of the top 10 aquariums in the world according to TripAdvisor. Located in the heart of Maui, this amazing facility offers a unique glimpse into the vibrant marine life of Hawaii. The aquarium is home to the largest collection of live Pacific corals in the world. It's also the only aquarium in the world dedicated to preserving and showcasing Hawaiian marine life, making it a must-see for ocean lovers and visiting Maui. Let's dive in and explore. And go back and watch episode 4 if you're interested in all the details about this aquarium in Hawaii. Next, it was one of my favorite parts of the day to walk underneath an impressive 750,000-gallon open ocean exhibit and hang out with this playful manta rays. Here, you can walk through a tunnel surrounded by sharks, rays, and schools of tropical fish. Manta rays are gentle giants, often called as the butterflies of the sea, and they can have wingspans up to 23 feet. In episode 4, I shared a childhood memory about sharks that gave me fear for life. But stepping into the shark tank at the Maui Ocean Center, I've learned so much that's changed my perspective. Did you know the odds of being attacked by a shark in the US are 1 in 11.5 million, compared to the odds of dying in a car crash, which are 1 in only 114. Every year, over 10,000 humpbacks migrate to the warm, shallow waters of Maui, making it a magnificent spot in the world to come whale watch. Oh! Next, it was time to learn more about these giants. One of the most immersive experiences is the Humpback Whales of Hawaii, a 3D cinema sphere where you're taking on a breathtaking journey beneath the waves to meet the majestic humpback whales. that migrate to Hawaii's warm waters each year. The 3D effects make you feel like you're swimming alongside these gentle giants, witnessing their graceful movements and hearing their songs echoing through the ocean. The depth and variety of their melodies are not only a marvel of marine biology, but also a reminder of the intricate communication and social structures within the whale community. This was definitely a unique way to connect with the humpbacks and understand more about their lives and the critical role they play in our marine ecosystems. This experience truly brings the magic of the ocean to life, leaving you with a deeper appreciation for these incredible creatures. Outside, it was time to explore one of the last highlights of the Maui Ocean Center, the sea turtles. The giant green sea turtles are the most common species in Hawaiian waters, and they can weigh up to 300 pounds and live to be over 50 years old. It's been an incredible journey through the ocean's wonders here at the Maui Ocean Center, and I really hope you've enjoyed discovering these magnificent creatures with me. Next, we'll leave Maui Ocean Center and head to the southwest part of the island, a place with a fascinating history. This area was once a World War II bombing site, and today we'll explore its unique landscape and story. Come with me. On the drive, the road winds through ancient lava fields with breathtaking ocean views. But what makes it even more intriguing is its history. During World War II, this area was actually used as a bombing range and training ground by the US military. So make sure to go back and watch episode 4 to listen to the epic stories about this hike. Today, the Hoapili Trail is a peaceful path that connects us not only to that piece of wartime history, but also to the rich cultural heritage of Hawaii. It's a powerful reminder of how places can hold layers of history, transforming from a battleground to a place of reflection and beauty. As we entered the Hoapili Trail, the first thing that caught my eye were these warning signs, reminding us of the 3 R's. Recognize it, but do not touch or move it. Retreat or leave the scene. Report. Call 911 with information about the object and its location. I have to admit, seeing the signs was a bit intimidating, but it was a powerful reminder of the responsibility we have when exploring this land. We must respect not just the natural beauty, but also the deep history that we're stepping into. With that in mind, I decided to go just a little way into the trail rather than completing the entire hike. And I still got to experience magical moments like this. Alright, you guys, tonight in the dinner menu, we have leftovers from dinner the other night. Just some rice, chicken, peas, I mixed it with some eggs, cheese, and it's amazing. One of my favorite parts of van traveling was finding these amazing spots for sunrise and sunset. And of course, I couldn't miss out on my favorite band playing Old Dominion to wrap up another most perfect day in the island. We start the next day by leaving our campsite and driving to the northwest side of the island to explore the Nakalele Blowhole, one of Maui's natural wonders. My favorite part of camper van travel is chasing the sunrise to a beautiful coffee spot to start the day. As the sun rose over the mountains, it painted the sky with breathtaking colors, casting a golden glow over the entire landscape. It was one of those moments that reminds you just how beautiful and vast this world is. A perfect start to our journey. Next, we started our walk down. The grassy path led us towards the ocean. And with each step, the sunrise stayed in view, lighting the way. It felt as though the world was waking up with us. But soon, the terrain began to change. The grassy trail gave way to rocky ground, and we knew the adventure was about to begin. The climb down toward the Nakalele Blowhole wasn't easy. With jagged rocks beneath our feet, I had to be careful with every single step. The terrain here is raw and rugged, and much like life, it requires focus, determination, and a willingness to keep moving forward, even when it gets rough. By glimpsing into where you are going to get a direction, but focusing on the next few steps, soon you notice that you are halfway there. This is my front seat to this nature show today. This is absolutely unbelievable. Let's enjoy. Local legends say the blowhole represents the breath of the ocean god, Kanaloa, reminding us of the island's deep connection to nature and Hawaiian culture. Watching the lava formations from down here, y'all, it's absolutely insane. Look at this pop of red coming right in between. I mean, I cannot explain how it feels to be down here. And we finally made it to the blowhole. As I stood at the base of the Nakalele Blowhole, I looked up, and that's when it hit me. Everything looked the same. The mountains, the rocks, the rugged terrain, it all blurred together. And I couldn't tell where I had come from, and in that moment, I felt it. I had no clear path back. With no signs, no trail markers, just rocks and hills in every direction, I had to make a choice. Life is a lot like this sometimes. You get turned around, unsure of the right way forward. You don't have all the answers, but you still have to take a step. So I tried one path, and then another, and each time the uncertainty grew. Desperation started coming within me that, darkness would come, and I would be there without being found by nobody. But so did my determination grow. Every wrong turn taught me something about the terrain or about myself. There's something powerful about the struggle, about facing the unknown and trusting yourself to find a way.
Oh my God, everyone. Climbing up. There are a million paths and they all look the same. So I end up on that valley. And then I figured I wasn't going the right way. Then I came back. Then I went up on the other side of this mountain. Then I came back, then I climbed this mountain, and I could finally see the van on the other side. Man, kind of nerve-wracking. Let's go. Thank you, God.
After all that struggle, it was time to reward myself. And if there's one thing you're learning watching these episodes, is that a papaya bowl is my favorite Hawaiian reward. After facing challenges, getting lost, and pushing through the uncertainty, there's a sense of accomplishment that comes from embracing the adventure. Every difficulty was a reminder that life's most beautiful moments often come after the hardest climbs. Now it's time to sit back, relax, and soak in this incredible view. The scenery you go through driving around the island of Maui is impressive. Every twist and turn, you discovered something new. And that's the amazing part about van traveling. You can just find a place you're interested about and stop by, and you literally have everything you would have in your hotel right there with you. So the Nakalele Blowhole was the furthest we could drive with the van, so we start making our way back and discovering other stops. So the coolest thing about traveling in your home on wheels is that I stopped on this lookout and I saw this amazing bay with tons of people doing snorkeling there. So I Googled it, saw it's a safe place to go Google. There's a short trail to get there. So I turned around, parked the van. I'm gonna get in my swimsuit, snorkel gear, and will I have the courage to go snorkeling? We'll see. So for this bay, you park right off the street here and then go down. Apparently a little hike. Let's see how little this really is. If you park where I just did, in the fork, you want to take the right path. And we found the enchanted forest, which is where you come down to go to this beautiful bay where you can go snorkeling. But this part of the experience is making it so much better. All right, let's go find this and not get lost this time. Finding literally this magical forest as listed in Google Maps was definitely an amazing surprise. There are legends about this area that actually interacted with me after I learned about them. So make sure to check episode 6 to hear all the stories about this place and get the details about this snorkeling. As we venture deep into the forest, suddenly we stumble upon a massive and glowing, magical tree, almost like something from an AdVANture movie. Its branches twisted into the skies, reminding us of the magic that still lingers here. It felt as though the spirit of the forest itself was alive, watching us, just like the legend taught us. And I swear, I felt that magical power within me. And after the AdVANture tree, here you are, which is just as beautiful. I guess like everything else, you just gotta go and do it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You have flippers?
I do not.
Okay.
Okay. I met Pamela and Hunter right when I got into the bay, and I sat on the rocks, dwelling if I was gonna have the courage to snorkel. As I hear Hunter talking about jellyfish and stingrays, I turn around and I'm like, are you talking about here? Because I was dwelling if I was gonna go snorkeling, and if that is about here, I'm definitely not gonna go. And we started laughing and having conversations about snorkeling, and they were sharing about their experiences and offered to go with me if I had the courage to try.
Yep, fish you ready.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. You guys are so kind.
I love how sometimes life just places the right people in your path. It was thanks to them that I jumped into this adventure, even without flippers, and swam with them for about 2 hours watching the most gorgeous fishes in the bay. Thank goodness I saw no sharks, and we had an amazing time in the water. Honolua Bay and continue on the drive back, we stopped to see the Dragon's Teeth. This was also an easy and short trail with just a little rough terrain at the end, but you get right to the Dragon's Teeth. And of course, I found the legend of the story to go with it. So make sure to go back and watch episode 6 to figure out how this dragon teeth got imprinted on this side of the Maui Island. And continuing on the drive to the campsite, we made a final stop at the Mala Historic Wharf to watch one of those gorgeous sunsets. It's a place where Maui's history, culture, and nature all come together, blending the old with the new. We start the next day by saying goodbye to our lovely Camp Olowalu and doing our last activity on the west side of the island, which is visiting the Iao Valley State Park. Welcome to beautiful Iao Valley State Monument, a place where history, spirituality, and stunning landscapes collide. Over 1,000 years ago, this valley was the heart of celebrations honoring Lono, the Hawaiian god of agriculture. And even today, it remains a place of deep spiritual value and breathtaking beauty. As I wander through the lush, paved trails, I can feel the history in the air, like stepping back in time. The towering Iao Nido, known as Kuka e Moko, stands guard over the valley, inviting visitors to climb the 133 steps to take in the view from the top. And the easy hike of today is at the Iao Nido. This is paved and super easy to go out, up. It's not very inclined, so it's gonna ease it out. But I did hear there are about 133 steps that we are about to start climbing to get to the view. So let's do it. 131, 32, 33, and we made it! Welcome to the top, where we're greeted by the majestic Iao Nido, rising 1,200 feet from the valley floor. This iconic green-covered rock stands as a symbol of Maui's natural beauty. But it's more than just a sight to see. It holds deep historical significance too. Right here in 1790, King Kamehameha I clashed with Maui's army in a battle that would forever change the course of Hawaiian history. The view is incredible, but the adventure doesn't stop here, everyone. Down below there's more to explore, winding trails and the untamed beauty of the valley. So let's go and explore and get lost in this beauty, and I mean it. So this place down here is another maze. Like every path leads to another 3 options of paths, and then you choose one, and then it leads to another 5, and then you pick one and you choose to another 2, and then try coming back from that. So my choice here is stick to the river.
Let's see, hopefully I'll make outside of the EL Park.
There's so much history down here. Remember when I mentioned the Battle of Kamehameha I and Maui? So these waters that divide the valley has a very deep story. You need to visit episode 7 to hear all the details. But basically, there are 4 different streams that flow through this valley, which is Waikapu, Wailuku, Waiehu, and Waihee. And Vai in Hawaiian means water. Kamehameha's victory here set the stage for the unification of the Hawaiian Islands under his rule. And walking through this valley, it's humbling to think about the weight of history that surrounds us. The farmers who nurtured the land, the warriors who fought here, the spirits who still call this place home, and me trying to find my way out of this beautiful valley. There's a deep respect for the land, and I feel connected to something much bigger than myself as I wander through this natural beauty. As I walk through the trail, I find markers that other hikers left and figure I'm not the only one who got lost here. But eventually, I found my way out, just following the waters. Alright, it's time to face Haleakala. And above those clouds we go. Next, we're gonna leave Eel Valley State Park and cross to the east side to our next very exciting and scary adventure, sleeping at the Haleakala volcano and camping at the Hosmer Grove campground. As we head up the winding road to Haleakala, it's hard to believe I'm making my way up to a massive volcano. The twists and turns on this drive definitely have me gripping the steering wheel a little tighter, but I can't help but be in awe of the beauty around me. Haleakala, which means House of the Sun, is a dormant volcano that makes up more than 75% of the island of Maui. It's one of the most unique and powerful places on Earth, and I'm about to spend the night camping on its slopes. I'm not gonna lie, the idea of sleeping on top of a volcano has me feeling a little nervous. At this point, we're so high up that we're literally driving inside a cloud, and the atmosphere here is just surreal. Hosmer Grove is tucked into the cloud belt of Haleakala. At around 7,000 feet, the air is cool and fresh, but there's something about being this high up, on the edge of an ancient volcano, that's both exhilarating and intimidating. This is our first night camping atop of a volcano at Hosmer Grove Campground that is about 7,000 feet of altitude. Haleakala Volcano, also called House of the Sun, is a massive shield volcano that forms more than 75% of the island of Maui. And it's been a sacred place for native Hawaiians for centuries. The drive from the bottom of Haleakala Volcano to the Hosmer Grove Campground takes about 30 to 40 minutes. It's important to reserve your campsite at least a month in advance. And make sure to check the full episode 8 because I give you all the detailed information on what you have to do to get reservations to visit this place. Since they are rare to find, you gotta know the secrets. Once you have a reservation, it will advise you to prepare for the freezing temperatures at night and remind you that there are no stores or restaurants around. So to experience this in my hotel on wheels with all my food, kitchen, and hot showers available was the perfect setup. So we made it up to the Haleakala camping site, and y'all, this is incredible. So this is gonna be my bedroom view for a couple of nights, which backs up into one of the woods here in the Volcano National Park. And this is the camping area. So we are literally in the clouds right now. The summit is above the clouds. So to watch the sunset and the sunrise, we're gonna go up and another 30-minute drive to the summit, which stands above the clouds, so we'll be able to see it, hopefully. And this is the camping site. I already made some new friends, so I'm definitely not scared anymore about spending the night here. And later there's a hike inside of the woods here. After settling in, it was time to go out and go explore that hike those people I met told me about. Known for its sightings of rare endemic birds and stunning valley views. Intrigued, I set off to explore Hosmer Grove hiking trails. This short loop trail, less than a mile long, winds through an alien forest of towering trees from all around the world, planted as an experimental forestry project in the early 1900s. And walking through, you'll find yourself surrounded by the songs of Hawaiian honey creepers and other bird species found nowhere else on Earth. So this is super cool. It is super raining out there. I'm gonna show you guys on the other side. I don't think you can see. Yeah, you can see through this camera. But they say this forest here acts as a sponge, so the water from the rain actually doesn't really make fully to the ground because the trees all absorb them. And yep, I'm right under all the trees and it's not raining over here, but it's kind of pouring out there. Let me show you guys. Now this is kind of cool. It's raining over there and just misting over here. So after the hike, it was time to cook dinner, and I have to be honest with you all. I did not freshly cook meal every day. I bought some of those frozen meals you find in the groceries, but it was super cool just to be able, to cook it fresh in the stove and enjoy eating my own dinner. Now, this is one of those special moments you can enjoy with the back of the van open to the woods. I was here having dinner and this endemic bird came visit me. And later I found out it's the iwi. And it was quite cool to have that close visit with it while enjoying my dinner. And this is absolutely one of the most surreal sunsets I've seen in my entire life. And this is just halfway up to the peak. Tomorrow we'll catch one from up in there, but for now, let's enjoy this. Watching a sunset is like experiencing the perfect metaphor for life. As the sun dips below the horizon, it reminds us that even the most beautiful moments must come to an end, making way for new beginnings. The changing colors paint the sky, a reminder of the beauty in transitions and the promise of a fresh start. As I watch these clouds literally pass by me, I realize it's a moment to appreciate the richness of our experiences, savor the present, and look forward to the adventures yet to come. Cheers, everyone! All right, everyone, so we are almost at the summit of Haleakala right now. I left to go to the summit tomorrow since I have 2 nights here. And right now I'm on the side of the road. The noises are like scary. And we're having a little cheese board, snack, charcuterie moment here with some wine while we wait for this cloud to pass and see if we can stargaze. Do you think it's gonna happen tonight? Stay tuned. Holy moment. So because I'm on a little hill kind of going down, And in front of me, you know, is the abyss of the end of the edge of the volcano. So I was like, since I'm parked here, let me turn the wheel facing the mountain. So if by any reason this van slides down a bit, I go towards the mountain and not towards the abyss. So I came to the front of the car and I turned the wheel and the wheel locked. And I'm like, shit, I did something. So I went and grabbed the keys and put in the ignition and tried to turn, and it would not turn. I couldn't turn the car on. I'm like, I'm gonna be stuck at the top of Haleakala. So important tip here, make sure to watch episode 8 to learn the fix for every car when it does this. And you should be able to get your car back on. Because good Lord, I did not want to be stranded at the top of the summit of Haleakala tonight. Good Lord. All right, you guys, I think it's time to give up. It doesn't look like it's gonna get any better. It's we're inside a cloud. It has been raining and very windy and very scary to be up in here at this dark with the van shaking, the wind noises. And I want to watch the sunrise tomorrow. I don't think you can see me. So I think I'm gonna drive down to the camp for the night and come back up to the summit to see the sunrise tomorrow and try sunset and stargaze tomorrow again, since we have one more night. So this is me giving up. Now wish me good luck to make it down. I'll send some news when I get to the camp. So everyone, it's still super raining up in here. With the winds howling, bracing these freezing cold temperatures, and still being hopeful for a great sunrise view, even with these thick clouds around us, it felt just like the world is waking up beneath us and beneath this blanket of fog. We wait, cold and hopeful, and then, as clouds and clouds passed through us, it felt like being up in the skies. Well, I actually was. Finally, the clouds part ways, and the sun rises, spilling light across the peaks. What a majestic moment. Now look at this view. Now living this van life, there's nothing like a sunrise coffee above the clouds. A French press, a warm cup, and a view that feels endless. At the very top of Haleakala volcano, there is a parking lot, but it's a limited parking spaces. So you want to make sure if you're planning for sunrise or sunset that you're getting here way before that. And the views are 360 of the entire island. And you are literally above the clouds. There's no sensation like this. So before we hop in the Moving Sands Trail, we are cooking some breakfast to get some energy for it. And then head out into the wild. Welcome to the start of the Sliding Sands Trail, one of the most awe-inspiring hikes within Haleakala's crater. Right from the beginning, you can see why this place is called Sliding Sands. The trail is steep, rocky, and covered in volcanic cinder that crunches under your foot as you go. The path is clear and beaten down, but be sure to stay on it for safety and to respect this unique landscape. As you set out, you notice the trail dips sharply into the crater, giving you the sense that you're descending into another world. Each step takes you further into the heart of Haleakala, with the colors shifting from bright red and orange cinders to deep, dark volcanic rock. It's a truly surreal experience. It's almost like I'm walking on Mars. Am I walking on Mars? This trail can be completed end to end at about 11 miles. And many people arrange a ride from the other side if they want to take it all that way. But you don't have to go the full distance to feel the magic here. I will encourage you to do as much of this hike as it feels right for you. Even a short walk around here gives you incredible views. Make sure to tune into episode 9 to learn about the details and science of this magical Martian place. So we just hiked down about an hour in the moving sands trail. You can see all the tiny people up in there coming down. This is a 12-mile long trail filled with twists and turns, but very relatively easy and flat. Coming down. But the views, like, strongly recommend at least come down an hour to get this view right here. And I came in a steady pace and I sat down a little bit. 100% worth it. Alright, let's start our climbing up. I hiked for almost 3 hours, which felt like I had traveled so far. And yet, in this vast landscape, it looks like I barely scratched the surface. For a fun geological fact, Haleakala last erupted between 4 and 5 hundreds of years ago, shaping much of what you see in the crater. Despite being dormant, the landscape constantly changes due to the sliding sands, which form patterns over time with the wind and the rain. And I was lucky enough to meet one of the most handsome locals, a Nene. It's time for a much needed snack. Papaya bowl, bok juice, yum. And the clouds view. Nice. After going down for some napping time and finding some signal, it was time to come up to catch one of the most spectacular moments of every day, a sunset. But different than every day, watching it above the clouds. One of the best advantages of traveling with the van is that I could just stay up in here as late as I wanted, waiting for the dark to come and try to stargaze. So this is how cold it got here overnight. This is a great example of those freezing temperatures we were warned about. But inside the van with my winter wear, I was doing just fine. It's time to say goodbye to the camper van. And I'm super sad. And of course there's a beautiful rainbow. To enjoy this last minute over here in the Haleakala camping. Just gorgeous. This was absolutely amazing, unforgettable. I recommend this kind of trip for everyone. It's crazy to say, but saying goodbye to this camper van after this amazing adventure was such a hard thing to do. But next step in our list of adventures was something very exciting to come about. We were swapping our van into a smaller car because we're about to hop into road to Hana. And I definitely recommend that you rent a smaller car for this drive, since it is a 2-lane, each one way, and sometimes you have to pull over at the edge of the mountain to make room for the other cars to pass. So this is the route you would do to start at mile 0 and make road to Hana clockwise. But for us today, we're trying to get to the other side of Haleakala, so we're gonna go right past through Hana. This is what traffic in Hana looks like. The road to Hana is one of the most scenic drives in the world, but it's also known for being an adventure all on its own. It's about 64 miles long with over 600 sharp turns and about 50 narrow 1-lane bridges. This route winds through lush rainforests, cascading waterfalls, and rugged coastline, giving a glimpse of Maui's incredible natural beauty. The road was initially built to connect remote communities, but it's become a popular tourist attraction. And the journey here is much about the stops as the drive itself, with highlights like the black sand beach at Waihee State Park, which we will stop in it, and the bamboo forest, which is our main goal to get to it today, since it's on the other side of Haleakala. And good thing to know, when you buy the Haleakala National Park Pass, you have 3 days to use with the same price you paid. So after camping in Haleakala, today we're coming all the way to the other side to visit the bamboo forest. It's a long drive, taking 2 to 4 hours one way without stopping. But here, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. So just be prepared for a winding, narrow road, lots of delicious banana bread on the way, and stops that will take your breath away. And if you're planning your travel to the road to Hana, make sure to go back to episode 10, because I give you all the details on the apps you should download, how to rent cars in Maui, and all the important information you must have before doing this travel. After driving all the way across the road to Hana, we finally make it within the last day of our Haleakala National Park ticket to experience the MAUI Trail inside the Kipahulu district of Haleakala National Park. Located on the opposite side of the island from the summit area, these hikes run alongside the 7 sacred pools, goes through the beautiful bamboo forest, and eventually leads to the stunning Waimoku Falls, a 400-foot waterfall. As a trend we've seen around here in Hawaii, most of the experiences you go through here, it's not about where you're trying to get to, but there's amazing discoveries along the way. Some of them putting you into a magical feeling, almost like if you're out of this world, helping you reflect through life, your dreams, your past, your accomplishments, and how grateful about life I feel right now. The pools of Waihee, also known as the 7 sacred pools, although many call them the sacred pools, this was a name coined to attract visitors in the past. For native Hawaiians, the pools are indeed significant, but not specifically as sacred. They are part of a continuous stream following from the mountains to the ocean, representing the natural cycles of water, life, and renewal. As you cross the bridges, you see how these pools have been shaped by nature over centuries, with lush greenery surround them. In Hawaiian, Pipiwai, the name of the trail, has a specific meaning. Pipi means to sprinkle or to drip, and vai means water. So pipivai essentially translates to sprinkling water or trickling water, which is quite fitting. The pools cascade beautifully from one to the next, connected by a series of waterfalls that spill into one another. As I step into the bamboo forest in the Hoapili Trail, I can't help but think of my dad. He always told me, "We're like bamboo, my daughter. We bend, but we don't break. We go through it." And right here, surrounded by these tall, unbreakable stacks of bamboo, his words mean even more to me. The bamboo rises up, thick and endless, bending and swaying with the wind, yet never giving in. It's resilient, just like us when we face life storms. I feel a connection not only to my dad's words, but to something deeper, an understanding that life is about growing through what we go through. Like the bamboo around me, we are shaped by our journeys, standing taller and more rooted every step of the way. And just as I look up, I know that at the end of this path is something beautiful, something worth every step, every challenge. So this is the price we pay. Just cross this little fall. Should go check that one out. Let's go. Finally, after trekking through the towering bamboo forest and climbing up the winding trail, I've arrived at Waimoko Falls. And standing here, looking up at this breathtaking 400-foot waterfall, it's just incredible. The water pours down in a powerful yet graceful way. It feels like nature's reward for the journey we took to get here. A reminder of the beauty that awaits at the end of a challenging trail. And after all this hiking and driving, we finally made it to Hana and found a beautiful restaurant to enjoy a sunset, a nice dinner, and of course, we couldn't miss a good Mai Tai. We start the next day early in the morning to catch a beautiful sunrise in this local beach in Hana called Honolua Bay Beach Park. This beach park has a deep significance for the Hawaiians, as it is the birthplace of Queen Ka'ahumanu, one of the most influential women in Hawaiian history. She rose to become the favorite wife of King Kamehameha, and later she served as Kuhina Nui, or Queen in Hawaiian. Make sure to watch the full episode 11 for the details of this story and why this pier in the background is so important to Hawaiian culture and Hana. So many visitors disregard this stop, and there's so much history in here. So make sure to write this tip down and put this stop in your road to Hana. Over the horizon, painting the sky in hues of gold and blue, I find myself taking in our last morning here at Hana Bay. Come take a ride with me in this road to Hana. This is my second time doing it, and I have different opinions that I will share with you and strongly recommend. If you're planning road to Hana, episode 12 is a must because that's a combination of all my experiences and the perfect way I got to make road to Hana the opposite direction. But now let's enjoy our next stop, which I couldn't make on my first drive because I didn't know all the tips you can find on episode 11, so don't miss that one as well. This is Waihee State Park, everyone. One thing you want to plan about this park is making your reservations way in advance. I made mine a month before. That's normally when they open the spots. And these spots, y'all, go pretty fast. So make sure again to watch episode 11 because I have all the tips on how to find and book your spot, the website, to make sure you get to explore this fantastic location. This cave for me was definitely the highlight of the visit to this park. It's such a peaceful place to just sit and enjoy the sound of the waves coming through these volcanic rocks underneath you. Besides all the great tips to travel, in these episodes I've been also sharing incredible Hawaiian legends about these places, goddesses stories, fights with Maui, and all the mystical stories you cannot miss. And of course, there's a very interesting story about this cavern too. The park's name means glistening waters in Hawaiian, reflecting the way ocean sparkles against its dark volcanic coastline. And here to the left of the black sand beach is where we will start our adventure of the day, going to the famous Pi'ilani Trail. Here in this park, you will find many different trails that you can take. From easy to moderate to very long trails, I strongly recommend you do a lot of research before visiting here so you can see exactly what is it that you want to experience. Because again, with the time that you have allotted to spend in the park, you gotta know what you want to do, otherwise you won't have time to do it. The Pi'ilani Trail, also known as Ke'alalua o Maui, leads to the Hana airport. And as you can see, it can be a little challenging trail to do if you have any difficulty climbing or kids with you. So make sure you're selecting this appropriately. This trail will take you through the native Hala forest and breathtaking views of the water.
It is a rainy day. That won't take it away from this beautiful hike. Let's go.
Well, unfortunately this time I was wrong and the rainy day definitely took away from that hike. Plus I've been so tired of all these hikes I've been doing all these days that I'm taking you with me in these previous episodes. So I figured I would go back to that beautiful cave that had such a peaceful sound and enjoy my papaya bowl, because of course I brought one to reward me after the hike. So the travel reflection I want to leave with you: do all the research about the place you're traveling before you go. Have all the options of what you can do, how long it takes, what are the dangers, what are the things you can miss. Look for local stuff to do. And when you're in the travel and things happen, just be flexible to change your plans or just decide to do nothing and enjoy a beautiful moment just like this one. On the opposite side, to the right of the black sand beach, there is another trail that provides sweeping views of the coastline and black sand beaches. Following this path leads you past a fascinating coastal cemetery near the camping area, which is very interesting. Would you sleep in this camping? There are old graves standing in solemn contrast to the park's lively natural beauty. In the park, you'll find directions of where each trail is and the black sand beach, and also make sure you respect the danger signs because they're here for a reason. I hope you enjoyed visiting this park with me today and all the tips. And I'm not including episode 12 in this movie recap because this was from a previous trip a year ago. But definitely check that out because there's a cliff jump. I'll teach you all the details you need to know because this is a deadly spot. But did I make the jump? Oh my God. Check episode 12 to see this and many more tips about the perfect way to do your road to Hana, the reversed way, and find these amazing experiences and actually see if this is for you. So if you haven't yet, please subscribe to the channel so you can continue to get all these travel tips and stories and the crazy things that happen to me when I'm out on it. I can't wait to share more with you. This journey, living out of a camper van, embracing the unknown, and uncovering stories woven into each place has been transformative. It's shown me that life's beauty truly lies in exploring, learning, and daring to step into new adventures, even when you're afraid of doing them, even when you're afraid of doing them alone. And doing it alone, it was like adventuring within my own self. I hope this trip has inspired you to seek out your own adventures, to dive into this world's history, and embrace the courage to try something new. As you look back through the other episodes, remember that life is full of horizons just waiting to be discovered, and how I love doing that and sharing that with you all. Now it's time to hop on a plane back to Florida and start exploring what's for season 2. I would love to hear what were your favorite parts of this season. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe and let me know what you want to see for season 2. And let's adventure, everyone, because the world is too small for us. I'm so grateful for all of you watching, all your likes, comments, and your support. Thank you.